Ah, fatherhood. A thing I know nothing about, but I'll be damned if I can't learn heaps about it from Dream Daddy. That opening fills my heart with excitement. My heart is fluttering for the affection of these fine dads. And I'm sure we'll make plenty of friends along the way. I, Granddad, am ready to hop back into the dating pool feet first. My wife's dead or something, and it's about darn time I explore the more grisly side of romantic encounters. At least the more masculine side. This goth fellow doesn't look too grisly, but he is certainly mysterious. Ooh. Anyways, today's the day we look at Dream Daddy, this lovely dad dating simulator from the Game Grumps. The game was written by Vernon Shaw and Leighton Gray, but many of the dads are voiced by the likes of Aaron, Danny, Barry, and even etc. Also, this being the first video game out of their company means this is exciting territory for the Game Grumps. If you aren't super familiar with them, don't worry. All you need to know for the sake of this video is that they gave the thumbs up to a game where you get to date and bang hot dads. When I first picked up this game, I wondered if it was more than just the ridiculous surface. Was this game aiming to be a joke or something more? In this episode of The Story You Never Knew, we will peer beyond the homoerotic veil, beyond the faint yet passionate gruntings of dad-on-dad lovemaking, and into the juicy depths of what it means to let those feelings loose. Also, sorry it took like a month between Story Never News. I couldn't find a topic I wanted to write on, and who wants to put out bullshit, huh? That being said, prepare yourself for the story of what it means to be a man in the midst of modern life. For the story of a loving father just trying to make his way. For the story you never knew. I'm sleeping now, and my daughter's trying to wake me up. Better pretend to be dead. Alright, she's too smart for that one. No doubt my genetics are thriving in the next generation. But alas, looks like I've gotta wake up because we're moving. But before I can continue my conversation with Amanda, aka Manda Panda, I've gotta
build that dad.
The time has now come to choose our dad form. Gotta get that blonde hair that's disheveled yet clearly has been groomed in the last 24 hours. Eyes, stoic, piercing, and blue. Facial hair? Oh yes. Glasses? Hip. Clothes? I'm digging the heart. Behold! It is I, Granddad, which is what I named myself, not realizing it would make my daughter's last name Dad. Sorry, Amanda. Dad. Off to a good start. When we return to our house with a completed dad form, we immediately start going through one of the moving boxes with Amanda. So many memories. There's that dope baby photo with the sunglasses, the Halloween costume, the horse phase. It really feels like I'm bonding with Amanda. We're exchanging sarcastic, witty banter after all, and we even talk about that one time she pooped herself at a sleepover and at one of the Emma's houses. Apparently, Amanda has two friends named Emma, Emma P and Emma R, and honestly, throughout the whole game, I actually couldn't remember the difference. Clearly, I'm ready for fatherhood already. Anyways, as the conversation draws to a close, it's time to start moving. We're downscaling to a smaller place on the other side of the city, and there's so much to do. My grizzly dad self and Manda Panda get into the car to begin the drive when I can't help but reminisce about all the memories of the house we're leaving behind. Fortunately, Amanda starts talking about happy memories from the place, like the time she broke a bunch of windows. Good times. More hilarious and witty conversation ensues, like calling my motorcycle my little velocipede and using my best announcer voice to sell Amanda on the new place. As we keep talking, we finally reach the new pad. Oh yes, I'm going to hump so many dads in this place. But first we need to get some coffee. To the Bean Juice Shop, otherwise known as the Coffee Spoon. When we first arrive, Amanda comments this place is such an easy walk from our house. Only then does Granddad character development truly begin. My response? Why would I go somewhere else and drink coffee on a couch when I could just drink better coffee at home on my own couch and not have to make awkward eye contact with other people? At least when I'm home, some random guy isn't gonna come up and sit in the recliner next to me and I won't be able to feel like a little weird because it's like technically like he's not sitting at my table, but he's very much within my personal zone. Personal zone being capitalized. Then I whine about being awkward with coffee cup etiquette or something when Amanda totally calls me out. Dad, are you just afraid to meet new people? Which naturally gets the "Yes, Amanda" response. We walk inside. At this point, it's clear Dad is a little socially awkward. He's afraid to go into a coffee shop because there's people in there. Specifically, new people. Amanda is encouraging the granddad to go in anyways. I mean, she mostly makes fun of him, but she is supportive at the end of the day, and that's what counts. The beginning of Dream Daddy really drives home just how much socializing this dad is missing out on. One can only hope the local coffee spoon can act as step zero for remedying the apparent social awkwardness of granddad. What more is in store for this shy dad? What more can modern life throw our way? Only by entering the coffee spoon can we find out. This place is pretty nice, and this guy looks so hip. Yet, when Amanda asks him why this place is named the Coffee Spoon, he starts awkwardly rambling, even going as far to say, I'm standing here rambling, and I'm sure we're all getting more and more uncomfortable the more I keep talking, but man, we're in it now, and I can't stop. Dude, she just asked you a question. What are you, me? Amanda even says we should become friends, and is all like, come on, what did we say about meeting new people? Ugh, this girl. Anyways, we try some of his banana bread, and it's quite pleasant when suddenly a brooding, mysterious man from across the room catches my eye. He's just as pretty as the one standing right before me, if not more rugged. My eyes quickly dart away, hoping he didn't catch me staring. From here, we finish our coffee, say our goodbyes, stroll through the park, I get in the bragging competition. Then we go home, get greeted by this well-put-together man named Joseph who offers us cookies and invites us to a barbecue. Alright. Then we randomly run into Craig, my old friend from college. He's ripped now. He's gotta get back to running though, so he jogs off. Casey Neistat over here. Back to the house, where Amanda gets a letter from one of the art colleges she's applied to. She's a senior in high school, by the way. She's also a photographer and a scrapbooker, and she's incredible. Apparently the McGowan College of Art and Design doesn't think so though, because she got declined. Poor Amanda. I'm sure she'll get into a good college though. She's got my DNA. My biological whatchamahoosit. She'll be fine. I give her a big hug, then find out she'll be hanging with the Emmas tonight. In order to not feel lame, I tell Amanda I've got plans myself to watch the game. The game. Time to hit up the local dive bar, Jim and Kim's, and wouldn't you know it, the game with my sports team of preference is on in here. Such joy when suddenly a middle-aged woman holding a nearly empty wine glass sidles up to the bar and sits uncomfortably close to me. Hey, sailor. Oh, hello. Good to see some fresh meat in here. I'm Mary. Come here often? Oh no, I actually just moved to this part of town today. I'm Grant, by the way. Are you watching the game? Yeah, my preferred team is in the lead. If they keep this up, they'll win the game with ease. Oh, I love that team. I also love that game. I love someone who knows their way around balls. I'm getting the impression she's a little drunk. Buy a gal a drink. $7 to keep talking to you? Nah. Suit yourself, sailor. It's the brooding man from the coffee spoon. He asks if I like shots. I love shots. We cheers to our health and the whiskey burns going down, but I feel so cool hanging out with this guy, and he wants me to come back to his place. I couldn't say no even if I wanted to. That sounds a little weird, but I'm into it. You get it. Soon we get back to his place, and he pushes me up against the wall and kisses me, grabbing my hips. He starts tugging at my belt. Let's have some fun. Oh. Okay, the grunting was for me, not the game, but I'm pretty sure it's in other parts. Anyways, Robert kicks us out the next morning and makes me feel slightly used. Did I tell you his name's Robert? His name's Robert, and he's mysterious. Whatever. Back to the house, where Amanda is crying but trying to hide it. I wonder what's wrong. She won't tell me. But we move on. Amanda, who is now back to normal, pressures me into going to that stupid barbecue Joseph invited us to. I don't want to go because I'll probably end up standing uncomfortably in the corner with a plate of food and hope that nobody talks to me. Inspiring words from a 45-year-old man. But off we go. And there's Joseph. And holy balls, it's the woman from last night. Apparently, she's his wife. $7 well saved. Fortunately, the conversation ends, but then Amanda forces me to interact with people. Damn her. Hey, it's the dude from the coffee place, and Robert, and that freckly, hairy ginger dude I never told you about, and the goth guy who threw a fit in Dead Goth and Beyond that time I never mentioned. Then Amanda's teacher, my old buddy Craig, but wait a second. All these people live in our cul-de-sac? That can't be right. I'd better investigate. And investigate we do. All kinds of conversation ensues. Most of it is awkward and hilarious, but it's conversation and social interaction, so that's a plus. Also, we learn about Dadbook, a totally realistic sounding social media platform where dads can meet up with each other. And meet up with dads we do, but not before Amanda gets accepted into her dream school. Yesterday she was crying for no reason, and today she's happy as can be. Fatherhood sure gives mixed emotions. Speaking of which, all these emotions have me stirred up. Time to meet some dads on the internet. I'll choose the goth one. Huh. I hope he doesn't try to suck my blood. What'd you think I was gonna say? Get your mind out of the gutter. This goth dad is a perfect gentleman, I'm sure. His name is Damien. He talks in Victorian-era poetic sentences, tells me about his love for all things gothic, tells me all sorts of informative things about the Victorian era, and then he takes me out to his garden. Holy balls, this place is nice. Damien dips out to take care of something, which leaves me to admire this place all on my lonesome. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle! This calls for a minigame!
Fix that guard.
Oh, I will, announcer guy. I will, alright, we'll put that, nope, okay. How about, aha! Then, nope, okay. What about, damn it! Okay, we'll just put this here. Yes! Okay, just one piece left. Just, dang it. Nope. Damn it. Poop. Fuck! One last, oh hey, you can turn things over, BAM! Damien will never know, which is good because our date isn't over. Apparently his son tried to get some kid drunk and seal him in a basement by building a brick wall around him. Weird guy. We go to the school to deal with the situation, then I go with Damien back to his place, we say our goodbyes, and I get my score.
Are you familiar with the works of Corey Feldman? He simply slayed in The Lost Boys.
Alright, I'll take it. What a success! See, I can socialize. I can make friends and romance. But wait, what's going on here? Amanda is secretly crying for no reason. All the dads live in the same cul-de-sac by some cosmic coincidence, and the cul-de-sac isn't even a cul-de-sac. It's clearly an alley. A street or passage closed at one end. Synonyms include blind alley. Guess cul-de-sacs don't have to be circular. The more you know. Back to the confusion. Why is Amanda sad? She got into her dream school, so maybe that'll cheer her up, but I'm not so sure. Not to mention the dad in this game is a lonely middle-aged man who's gotten more social interaction in the last week than he did the whole time living at the old house. Well, maybe that's not confusing. Maybe that's just a good thing. Maybe. Year after year of going to work, coming home, rinse, repeat, and now this dad is relearning how to socialize. Grant dad do good. We're killing it. But what's the lesson here? We've made it this far, yet I have yet to gather if there's anything beneath the silly surface of this ridiculous daddy dating simulator. This is the story you never knew, yet so far I only see the story. For now. Maybe another date with Goth Dad will reveal the hidden mystery. And look, Goth Dad sent me a letter. It's fancy and long, written in very flowery language. I respond, then go on the date. Let's take him to a horror movie, eh? Goth Dad'll like that. He's terrified of horror movies. I'm bad at this. But then we go for a walk in the graveyard, we have a deep, intimate conversation about death, and then holy shit, Robert! And a dog. That's not his. Probably. Damien takes me home, gives me a super sweet handkerchief. I say something nice, he blushes, and we part ways for the night. Score time!
My dear friend, you've simply taken the egg on this one. Taken the egg is it's a Victorian phrase. It technically means winning, so, ultimately you've won.
Cool. Amanda's crying again! Why? Pressing does no good. She just gets mad at me and we have to leave. I'm so upset that she's upset that I could barely sleep at all. When morning finally comes, I go to the kitchen and wait for her to come down. While I do that, I can't help but reminisce about the time I taught Amanda to ride a bike. She kept falling over and scraping her knees, but she never stopped getting back up. Until I made her stop because she was getting hurt. Then I bought her ice cream. I felt so close to her then, but now she won't even tell me what's wrong. So I made this cake apparently. Finally, she opens up. It's drama with her friends, specifically Emma R. Still not sure which one that is, but apparently she started getting frisky with Amanda's crush after Amanda told her she liked him. The rest, Grant Dad did not really understand. These complicated social situations are a little over my head apparently. Save for the takeaway that all her friends won't hang out with her anymore for what seems like no good reason. That sucks. I give her some fatherly advice and she feels a little better. High school's almost over anyways, and I know she'll find her circle in college. And with that resolved, it's time for date number 3 with Damien the Goth Dad. Long story short, we hang out by the water, Goth Dad gets another phone call, we go to a rundown building together, and turns out the guy volunteers at an animal shelter. Also, that lady from the bar is here. Then some drama ensues. Dog drama though. A dog named Duchess Cordelia got loose and now we have to find it. And check out this map that lady made for us. I guess this cul-de-sac is a circle. Not that it matters, because after driving around town all day we didn't find the damn dog. Not good.
Maybe tonight was not your night.
Clearly. Hope the dog isn't dead. Regardless, it's time for something special. Something to get my mind off the dog thing and onto something happier. Something that would make up for Amanda's friends abandoning her. A surprise party! A surprise graduation party with a mac and cheese bar and ice cream cake. Granddad, you were born for this role. And Duchess, you aren't dead! And you've been adopted by Amanda's teacher and son. And Robert, he says he views me as an object just as he believes I view him as an object. I guess our grunts meant nothing then. Next is Damien. We stand in the backyard, lit elegantly by the setting sun. The tree casts a shadow towards us, as though to give its blessing for what's about to happen next. Damien sighs deeply and reluctantly mutters, I feel I must rescind my courtship invitation. Is it because we didn't find the dog? That's supposed to be my fault? Did I tell you we found the dog? 2 S's and a C, and this is the thanks I get? Well, he still wants to be friends. Maybe we're better off that way. Just another addition to the cul-de-sac gang. Yay, friendship. And we get along well. It'll be great. All that's left now is Amanda. We sit together and watch the sun slowly dip below the horizon. I'm glad you made some friends. I know that's maybe not what you were looking for, but these people care about you. Love you, Dad. We'll always have each other. It's gonna be hard at first, but this is the next chapter in our story, and I would be nervous about it, but I know that you're always gonna be looking out for me the same way I'll always be looking out for you. Team Dad, Team Dad. And then the credits roll. Quite the perfect ending, is it not? Minus the Damien and Rob stuff. And Amanda having the same last name Dad, that's still kind of weird. But that's just the story, not the story you never knew. I know what you're thinking. I waited the month between story you never knews for this? Yes. But there's still a couple minutes left. Calm down, jeez. You see, Dream Daddy, as ridiculous as the first impression is quite deep in its own way. Really, it is. There's an actual story in this comical at first glance dating simulator. And the thing about actual stories is they have actual characters. The first taste we got of this game was a bunch of gorgeous slabs of man meat posing on a colorful poster, with a catchy yet hard to quite take seriously theme song. But all is not as it seems. Because our Dream Daddy is more than just a hunk. He's a dad, a real dad, and he's got a big group of friends now. Impressive dad. For in an age where stoic, unshakable men are the manufactured image of perfection, our Dream Daddy was anything but. He did whatever it took to make his daughter happy, even if he barely understood what was happening. He had real emotions. He could barely sleep when Amanda was upset. He even cried at the end. Did I mention he cried at the end? And get this, in an AARP survey, 37% of men aged 45 and older are lonely. Almost 40% of middle-aged men are lonely. Our caring fictional father certainly fell into this loneliness trap, working hard at his job, providing for his daughter, no doubt. He rarely socialized, a common problem for the modern man. There's a variety of reasons for that, most of which, when oversimplified, have a similar root cause. According to research from Dr. Niobe Way, a professor of applied psychology at the University of New York, boys in early adolescence express deeply fulfilling emotional connection and love for each other. But by the time they reach adulthood, that sense of connection evaporates. The quote is from an article I'll link in the description. The takeaway is clear. Men in our society tend to shy away from real, genuine friendships as they get older because the emotions required to maintain those friendships are not something the manufactured image of the perfect man allows. So fuck the image! Our Dream Daddy is well practiced in these emotions thanks to his relationship with his daughter, and with a little pushing, he's finally really able to bond with the dudes of the cul-de-sac. Sometimes the friendships are platonic. Genuine, but platonic. Sometimes things go a little further, but even when they do, it's whatever. Feelings are feelings. Be they father-daughter love, bro-bro love, or something a little more homoerotic, Dream Daddy is in tune with them all. It's a process, but he makes it happen. That process of learning to let it flow is why he's gonna have a dope time even after Amanda goes off to college. He has friends now, real friends, and now we know why. That's the story. You never knew. And that's my take on Dream Daddy. I'm Grant, and let me know if you want to see more of this game. There were plenty of other dads we hardly got to know. I even had to leave out some of the promising dates with other dads for the sake of time. If you want to see me score with more hot father figures and even go into more depth about the takeaway at the end, let me know in the comments. Just say, Grant is my Dream Daddy. That's how I'll know you're serious. So do it! That's it for now. Bye, everyone.